Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, clear, sir.
So yes, so myself, I'm Vijay. I hold 17 plus years of experience, and which includes 8 plus years of experience in Python, big data, and data science, right? Yes. So as part of today's session, just I'll be discussing this, right, introductory level to Python, right? Why Python? Okay. So the usage of Python and why how Python is useful in the current industry. And so Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced, right? It was introduced 30 years ago. And why all of a sudden Python has got great boom, right? Python features. Python features, right? Python, why Python? Python features and how Python was built. How Python was built, right? And various Python IDEs, Python real-time applications. Yes. Python IDEs, right? Python IDEs for data science and for the other ways. Why Python? Why Python is suddenly super popular? Why Python is suddenly super popular, right? Right. Okay. So why Python? So the usage of Python and the boom of Python today, right? So I can define Python as within some lines, right? Python is a open source. It is an open source high level language. It is a high level language. It is an interpreted language. Open source, high level, interpreted, and multi-programming. It's a multi-programming language, hybrid language we say. It's an object-oriented programming. It supports object-oriented. Script-based language and modular programming. Cross-platform language. Cross-platform language which can run on any platform and any kind of applications can be developed, like general purpose, right? It's a general purpose programming, right? And user friendly and programmer friendly programming, or user friendly programming, right? Yes. Yeah, at the end of the session I'll be just going with your general queries and that course content what we'll be discussing as part for this Python for data science, right? Yes. So before that, we'll see description like why Python and the usage of Python in this current world, right? So Python is an open source, no licensing required. It's an open source, right? So python.org is the website from where we can get this Python. It's a high level language. Python is a high level language, right? There are two types of languages I can say, right? Like high level language and low level languages. Low level languages, they are not human understandable, they are not portable, and they are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating system. So high level Python is a high level means, right, it's human understandable, human easily understandable, right? And it's portable. And machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems, right? Machine independent, right? Machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Yes. Interpretation language, Python is a interpretation language, line by line execution you are going to see, right? Line by line execution we see, right? Yes. Which means if you see this compilation interpretation, right? Compilation and interpretation, they have got compilation languages and interpretation languages. Compilation languages, right? Compilation languages, they will execute the entire code at once and display the errors, right? How many errors we got in line, which line, in third line you got an error, in fifth line there is an error, in so lines there are some errors it will display. But interpretation means line by line execution, line by line execution, right? If there is an line by line execution, if there is any error in the third line, it won't execute the remaining lines. Abnormal termination, termination of the program in the middle without executing up to the last statement, right? Yes. So it is interpretation language, line by line execution, multi-programming features. So Python, it has got multi-programming features, right? What all the programming features we see in the market, Python has got all the features, multi-programming features, like object-oriented programming features, procedural-oriented features, script-based, and modular programming, right? Yes. Python has got multi-programming features using which we can develop the applications accordingly, right? And because of this multi-programming or hybrid features, Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming, mostly chosen or mostly used programming, right? Yes. 1 second. Okay. Object oriented, Python is an object oriented, right? What advantages we see with object oriented programming? Mainly security, right? Mainly security. We want means if you are developing any applications with object oriented programming, right? So it is going to achieve security, reusability, and flexibility. Okay, security, reusability, flexibility, right? Yes. Security in the sense means if you are developing any web applications, right, using object oriented programming with Python, right? So the application is going to provide security. For example, if you're developing a bank application, one customer cannot view the details of another customer, right? In such a way that application is providing security, right? The same way, this Python has got object-oriented features using which you can achieve this security and reusability, right? Reusability and flexibility. We have got some features in object-oriented programming like polymorphism, inheritance, right? Polymorphism, many. Poly means many, morphism, many forms or logics or functionalities for performing the operations, right? Using which these are the advantages we see from object-oriented programming with Python: security, reusability, and flexibility, right? Script-based language, Python, we can write many scripts, automation scripts. So for writing scripts, automation scripts within this robotics, in AWS, in IoT, right? Python scripting is preferred. And modular programming, Python has got great boom because of this modular programming, because it has got nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules. Python has got nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules for different domains, right? That's got modules for different domains. Means for every domain, it is providing a module. For data science environment, it has got many modules, right? That all the models will be discussing in brief, in depth in this course. Apart from this, right? So the things that we will be focusing in this course: object-oriented programming features, script-based features, modular programming features, and procedural-oriented programming features. And the modules, in the modular programming, the total in brief, we'll be discussing about the data science related modules, right? Yes. Fine. Not only for this, for different domains like big data, like pandas, and for animations, for networking, for testing, right? For gaming applications, for embedded applications, for CAD applications, right? In these different ways, we have got different modules Python is providing for different environments, right? Yes. And mainly, Python is a cross-platform language. It can run on any platform. It can run on Windows, Mac OS, Linux. So it is a cross-platform language which can run on any platform: Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, right? Yes. General purpose programming. General purpose programming means, yes, program, the language which is suitable for developing any kind of applications. For developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming, where any kind of applications we can develop today by using Python. So like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, gaming applications, desktop applications, wide varieties of applications can be developed, right? And user-friendly programming. Python is a user-friendly programming or a programmer-friendly programming. User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes. The Python syntax programmer friendly means it provides simple syntaxes which looks like in normal English statements, right? Python statements look like normal English statements, right? So it is an open source, high level interpretation, multi-programming, object-oriented, script-based, modular programming, and general purpose and user-friendly programming, right? Yes. So Python can be used in different environments. Python can be used in different environments, right? And what are the Python applications? Not only Python applications, right? Yes. Yes. For automation applications, mainly for Python, mostly used in automation applications, like using technologies like data science, in data science environment. So if we talk today like data science, the talk of the town in the industry, right? So total implementation in Python. So the data science and IoT, or if you talk like robotics, or in writing scripts in AWS or DevOps, right? Yes. So automation applications. See, if we talk about other programming languages, right? The major programming language like Java is never used for implementing data science, or this machine learning or deep learning kinds of algorithms can't be implemented using the other major programming languages like Java. Python is the mostly used programming, right, for this data science environment, right? So like everything, like for data or for data science, data has got experience using the data. We have got future reference. Using data science, we perform data analysis, data predictions, data recommendations, right? It's a blend of technique, right? It's a blend of technique. The main technique what we see here, machine learning, right? ML, right? Machine learning. Machine learning, right? Yes. Machine learning means, right, data science. Machine learning, just observe this without entering like more into this, right? It is an approach. Machine learning, it is an approach where we provide some patterns to an application. To an application, we provide some data patterns. Based on the data patterns provided, based on the data, we are making the application to predict in the automated fashion, right? We are making the application to predict in the automated fashion. If you take a small example, right, you're just providing some data of statistically, if you see, you're providing the values for x and y. If x value 1, y value 10, x value 2, y is 20, x is 3, y is 30, for 4, 40. In this way, you're going some data, right? This data, I'm just providing this patterns, data patterns I'm going to provide, and I'm going to train the application accordingly. Based on that, tomorrow, like if x value is 29, what is y value? X value is 29. What is y value? The relation between x and y. The relation between x and y, right? What is that relation? Y is 10 times x. If you see, the relation is going to be built y equal to 10 times x. If x value 1, y value 10. If x value 2, y value 20. If x value 3, y value 30. If x value 29, 290, right? It's 290, means the relation is going to be built. Means if data is not provided, without this data, if I say x value 40 or x value 43, what is y value? Without providing this data, right? If I just say if x is 43, what is y? So based on this current, what is that? Based on the data, the future reference, right? If you see one complex example, right, on this. Okay, observe. Application providing some data patterns to it. Based on the data patterns provided, you are making it to predict. Okay. For example, x and y values you take. X value 1, y value 10, that's fine. 2, 49, 3, 18, 4, 22, 5. Now try to say for 5. 26, in this way. So for 500, you say, what is the value for y? Okay, for 3 it is 18, for 422 you are incrementing by 4, but for 500 you say what is the value? So this data patterns you are going to provide to that application and making to practice. So just I'm saying in a simple way, but lot of steps involved internally. So we are making that application to predict if y value is 5, if x value is 500, what is y value? If x value is 500, what is y value? What is the relation between x and y it is going to build? If x value 500, if x value 500, what is y value? Y is 4 times x, can I say? 4 times x means if x value 1, y value 4 only you are getting, but you should get 10, right? Plus 6 you add. Now you got a 10, right? Means 4x plus 6. If x value 2, 14, right? If
For
x
2000,
value,
sir.
if x value 3, yes, 18. If x value 4, see, every time if you're adding plus 6 to it, so 4 times x plus
So 2006, huh?
yes, what is the final output for 500, right? 4 into 500 plus 6, yes. What is that? 2000,
6.
right? Yes. So what is the y value? 2006. So based on this, we are just, it's a small, right? In this way, we provide the data patterns. Based on the patterns only, it's going to just predict whether it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So not only, okay, just observe this, right? Any kind of predictions, you can just provide the data patterns, right? Data patterns based on this, you are making it to predict, right? In the fine. So not only within that, in IoT also, right? In IoT or in AWS DevOps, right? This Python is preferred, right? So just I'll brief you the other applications where Python is mostly preferred in other areas, right? In big data environment, right? In big data applications. In big data applications, right? In scientific applications. In scientific applications for numerical analysis, we use modules like NumPy and CP, the data science related modules. Scientific applications, even in big data applications, we use modules like Pandas module and observe for graphical user interface, GUI applications, graphical user interface, right? For gaming or game development, right? Separate frameworks Python is providing for this game development, like Pygame. Pygame is a framework given by Python for developing games. Like even we have got frameworks like PyCora, yes, and Python used for this networking or network applications, right? It has got modules. Networking, we have got modules. It's given a framework like Twisted Python, right? A framework by Python for networking applications and even for testing or test cases. And for software development, right? For software development. For software development, right? Fine. I mean, software developers using Python as a support language, and for business applications, for business applications, right? Yes, for business applications, like developing like e-commerce websites, well, Python is one of the best choice, right? Yes. And for web scraping, right? Yes. If you are harvesting data from different websites or for extracting data from different websites, right? We go for web scraping, where we have got models like URL lib module is available, beautiful soup module is available, using which we extract data. And for audio and video applications, yes, audio and video applications, like we have got some famous applications already built by using Python, like Tim Player, C Player, right? These are the modules. So sorry, these are the applications built, audio and video applications using Python. And for not only for these computer applications, for CAD applications, Python is preferred for 3D CAD applications, right? It has got modules. And for electronics, right, for different other environments, right, embedded applications, right? Yes, Python has got modules. And the most famous embedded application like Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computing, right? Yes. Apart from this, for data analysis, Python is preferred. For computer vision, right? For object detection, color detection, computer vision, right? Yes. For object detection, color detection, right? And in robotics,
It's 15, 16 points, sir. 14, 42 times.
yes. In robotics, it is mostly writing scripts, and for generating reports or graphs using Python, right? Graphs, different types of graph generations using Python, right? So these are the various applications, not only within this automation applications today, like even the main thing, it's Python mostly used, and it has got frameworks, right? For web applications, we forgot this which is the major applications of Python, like the major applications of Python, automation applications today, and web applications, and gaming applications, networking, and all the other applications, right? Fine. So like what are the IDEs we are going to discuss as part of this? Means in real time we use IDEs, right? For okay. So this as part of this course, most of you has got some dilemma, right? So we'll be discussing the total Python in brief, right? Knowledge on this Python object oriented, procedural, scripting, and modular. All this we'll be discussing. So apart from that, we'll be discussing in brief on this especially different modules, especially data science related modules. In brief, we'll be discussing, that means total knowledge on entire database data science related modules. So I can say like Python is the one of the best language, right? It's the best language used for data scientists for various. See, if you talk about this, I was talking about this Python for this data science environment, right? Yes. It is the one of the best language used by data scientists for various data science projects or applications. Python provides great functionality, right, to deal with. So it has got many modules for mathematics, statistics, for scientific functionalities, right? It provides great libraries to deal with data science applications. Because one of these reasons why Python is used in this scientific research and communities, right? Because of its simple and easy syntaxes. Okay. Okay. So and research, okay. It provides great libraries to deal with the data science application. Why Python is widely used in scientific? Because of, I was saying that, because of its easy syntaxes, simple syntaxes, right? And very less coding. So we see the applications areas, the application areas like fraud detection, network security, natural language processing, sentiment analysis. They are opting for Python. It provides large collection of libraries that helps to solve complex business solutions, right? Okay, fine. If we talk the main features, what we see, the main advantages or features, what we see in Python. Yes, just I'll come back for this, right? I'll just show you that course content of Python for data science. Just 5-10 minutes, right? Features of Python language. Elegant syntax with simple syntaxes. They look like normal English statements. Programs very easier to read. Simple to access, right? Simple to access. Very less coding. It has got large standard library, right? It has got large standard library. And community support, right? Yes. Many built-in libraries, we don't need to write huge tasks. We have got many built-in functionalities. It has got large standard library even for machine learning, the other things. Python has got interactive mode even for testing. Interactive mode. Okay. Makes simple, makes simple, right? Makes simple to test codes, right? Yes. Elegant syntax, very less coding, large standard library, interactive mode, makes simple to test codes, right? It is for testing the codes or for development, right? This interactive mode works better. Just check it. If you go to this command prompt and if you just type Python and say enter, right? So we see like any varied Python statement, 6 plus 2, 5 into 3, any varied statements, right? X has 10, Y has 5, right? Y has 4, X plus Y, X minus Y, right? Sorry, X plus Y is 4, Y is 4, you say? X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y. Any
రోజు
varied,
పోతాను వచ్చే పని మీద ఉన్నాను వచ్చేకుండా బ్యాంకులో చూసుకోపోయి
Sukumar Babu, please try to be in mute. Yes. So we can just interact with Python statement. Sukumar Babu, you are removed from the meeting. Okay. So interactive mode, right, makes simple to test codes. We can develop the code. We can interact statement by statement. I was just saying you right. Yes. You can go to the command prompt and just type Python and just interact statement by statement. Any valid Python statements. X has 10, X into 2, X to the power of 2, right? Any valid Python statements. X minus 2, any valid statements you can type and you can interact. You can test the codes here. Okay, fine. Yes, right. And this interactive mode and wide varieties of applications, wide varieties of applications, right? We can develop using Python and multi-programming support, multi-programming support, right? Yes, hybrid features you can see for Python, like procedural oriented, object oriented, right? Scripting and modular programming, right? Yes. Okay. Can run on all the hardwares, can run on all the hardwares and operating systems. Okay, fine. So these are the features, right? Features, very less coding and interactive mode makes simple to test codes, wide varieties of application, multi-programming, can run all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Okay, so I'll be discussing in brief about the most commonly used libraries as part of this course, right? Is I'll be discussing some modules for data science, right? Most commonly used libraries for data science. So some of the in brief knowledge on these modules, like NumPy module. NumPy, right? It's a Python library that provides mathematical functions. So we can handle dimensional arrays. It provides various method functions for arrays, metrics, linear algebra. See, NumPy stands for what? Numerical Python, right? Numerical Python, right? Yes. So it provides a lot of useful features for operations on n arrays, n-dimensional arrays, matrices, The library provides vectorizations for mathematical operations, array types, and it will enhance the performance and speeds up the execution, right? It's very easy to work with multi-dimensional arrays and matrices using NumPy. So NumPy is one of the module mostly used in the data science environment. So in depth, we'll be discussing about this NumPy module. Just I'll be showing you the course content. Yes. Next, apart from this, the mostly used model like Pandas module. So next, the Pandas model, right? Yes, for data analysis. It's one of the most popular library for data manipulation and data analysis, right? So this Pandas provides many functions to manipulate huge data, large amount of data. It provides easiest method to perform analysis, provides large data structures. So for manipulating numerical tables, not only that numericals are not only structured data, and for also like time series data, right? We are going to see that a data frames concept here, Pandas data frames, and we can just perform various data form related APIs available. It's a perfect tool for data wrangling, right? Pandas is designed for quick and easy for data manipulations, for data aggregations, for data mergings, sortings, and also, right? Yes. So we see like there are two types of data structures in Pandas, right? In this, like we mostly will discuss about that Pandas series, Pandas data frames, various operations within this data frames, right? Yes. Later we discuss about like visualizations, data visualizations. Matplotlib. Matplotlib. In brief, in-depth knowledge on this Matplotlib. That is for visualization. It is a useful, powerful Python library for data visualization. It is another useful, okay, for descriptive analysis and for visualizing data is very important for any organization, right? Visual, okay. So it provides various methods to visualize data in very effective way. It so this Matplotlib, it allows to quickly make use of this line graphs, pie charts, histograms, bar graphs, scatter plots, stack plots, and other professional grade figures using Matplotlib. Can configure right nearly for 15 to 15 days, more than 2 weeks. I'll be spending time on this Matplotlib module, especially, right? We can customize every aspect of a figure. It has got interactive features, zooming and planning and saving the graph in graphics format also, right? Yes. Seaborn, right? One more module for this is also for data visualizations. What are the various features, right? And Plotly, and the concept like CP. So these are the mainly I'll be discussing in brief about this modules, right? As part of this course content, if you just check now in this website, right? Even now it's available. Starting from this Python basics, Python, and this features, versions, installations, modes, data types, constants. So input output statements, type conversions, escape sequences, right? Collections in Python, collections and collection data types like list, tuples, sets, dictionaries, right? Methods, what are the various methods, nested collections, difference between them. Coming to this functions and functional programming, right? Functional programming in brief about all these different types of arguments, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, arbitrary arguments. Different types of functions like lambda, which are the things mostly used for this data science environment, like lambda functions, filter functions, map function, right? Reduce functions. These are the things: filter, map functions, reduce functions, anonymous or lambda functions. Fine. Modules are modular programming. Modules are modular programming, right? What is a module? Different types of modules, different ways of importing, renaming a module, reloading a module, right? normal import from import, right? Module aliases, okay, working with standard modules, right? Yes. And apart from this, how to create our own modules, user defined modules, working with packages and object oriented programming concepts in brief, right? Class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, constructors, destructors, static, non-static variable, method overriding, right? Yes. PDBC, Python database connections, right? How to connect with the database, performing operations, what are the different types of objects we create there, and performing their transaction management, error handling, binding, right? And file handling, right? Reading data from different file formats, appending, reading, writing, and appending data, and exception handling, errors and exceptions. And we have got try except blocks, right? An introduction to this data science, machine learning introduction, data sets, supervised, unsupervised learning, statistical analysis, data analysis, univariate and multivariate analysis, correlation analysis, algorithm types, and Python data processing, right? For this, Python data operations, Python data cleansing, working, processing CSV data, processing JSON data, processing XLS data, right? Python relational data, NoSQL databases, datetime, data wrangling, data aggregation, Python reading HTML pages, right? And processing unstructured data, and Python word tokenization, right? Right? Yes. And coming to this pandas for data analysis in brief, right? Pandas for data analysis, creating pandas series, pandas data frames, creating from different formats, right? And extracting rows, dealing with okay, indexing, slicing, data functionalities, time delta, creating frames, groupings, aggregations, merging, concatenations, and functions, different formats, and how this combination with matplotlib, right? Pandas use cases, working examples, and pandas exercises, right? NumPy model for data analysis, right? NumPy arrays, NumPy indexing, 2D, 3D dimensional, mathematical operations, flattenings, horizontal, vertical stack, line spacing, iterations, array manipulations, linear algebra, string functions, operations, and working examples, right? So for matplotlib for data visualizations, right? Matplotlib access class, matplotlib multiple plots, right? We have got access function, access plot function, and how to add subplots, working with subplots, adding title to subplots, multiple plotting set, and working with legend and changing legend position, legend font size, legend outside the plot, removing legend border, right? For giving names to that, line chart, and here that bar plot, horizontal bar chart, back to back bar plots, annotate bars in group bar plot, histogram, right? Creating a cumulative histogram, plotting two histograms together, overlapping histograms, bin size in histogram, working examples, adding a legend to a scatter plots, right? Next, connect scatter plot points with lines, scatter plot with multiple colors, increasing the size of scatter plots. Working examples on this: pie chart, stat angle, explode, shadow, colors, legend with titles, and pie chart. Working examples: 3D plots, three-dimensional plotting, 3D scatter plotting, 3D surface plotting, wireframe plotting, 3D coconut plotting, sorry, coconut, okay, and surface plots, and how to change the angle of 3D plot in Python. Working with images, right? When working with PNG images, display images in grayscale, how to draw rectangle on the images and display an OpenCV, right? And here a Seaborn, right? This is also for data visualization, styling the plots, style and color palette, and multiple plots like Seaborn face grid method, pair grid method, right? Okay, visualizing relationship between variables and scatters, right? Line plot, right? Here data visualizations with Seaborn line plot, bar plot, and count plot, right? Count plot using Seaborn, box plot in right here, box plot using Seaborn, how to show mean or box plot, how to manually order box plot in Seaborn, group box plot, box plot visualizations with pandas, right? Violin plot using Seaborn, and how to make horizontal violin, how to make grouped violin, right? Strip plot, strip plots and Python Seaborn swarm plot using n factor plot, right? Deplotting different types of plots using factor plot, and histogram, how to make histograms with density plots with Seaborn, and how to add outline, right? Pair plot, Seaborn pair plot, and data visualization with pair plot, right? And KD, right? Comprehensive guide and KD plot visualizations. Heat, right? Heat plot. Next is what? Heat plot, right? Yes. Heat maps, how to create heat maps, colored maps, right? And plotly. Next is one more module like plotly. Line chart using line charts, bar, histogram, scatter, bubble chart, box plot, Gantt chart, counter plots, creating heat maps, and ternary plots, 3D line plots, 3D surface plot, bubble chart, right? Sankey diagram using plotly, and tree map using how to make the custom buttons in plotly, how to make range slider and slider in plotly, animated data visualizations, right? Apart from this, like Python MongoDB tutorial, and insert many, find, query, sort, delete one, delete many, update many, and create index, right? Drop index query, Python, and also like NoSQL database and also SQL, right? I'll be giving knowledge on SQL, SQL, Python NoSQL, and Python models for this data science, and MySQL also in brief, right? Creating database table inserts query, right? Yes. So mostly on this modules of data science, SQL, NoSQL, for data visualization tools, data analysis tools, right? Data processing tools like that. So I'm saying like Plotly, Seaborn, Matplotlib, Pandas, NumPy, this and this, all this Python, right? Python 4 advanced, and this. So this is what is part of this course, right? We're discussing in brief with multiple examples, hundreds of examples in this modules, right? Data science related modules. And what are the IDs I'm going to use, right? IDs like just observe this for this IDs. Python IDs for data science. Just one second, give me 2 minutes. So like Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda distributions like Jupyter Notebook. Yes. Spider ID, right? So what are the IDs? We are Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, right? PyCharm. So for IDs for data science, right? PyCharm ID, Rodeo. We use like IDs like Autumn. We use like Tony. We use like Guinea, right? Yes. So these are the IDs like Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Sublime Text, Visual Studio.
Among this, which one is mostly used?
So this Jupyter, Spider, Jupyter and Spider, right? Visual Studio Code also, VS Code. Okay, these are the IDs for data science environment, and this was the course content I was talking, right? So each and every module in brief with multiple working examples with many exercises you are going to work with, right? You will be for plotting, visualizations, data analysis, processing, right? Yes. Now, if you've got any queries, you can just go with your queries, right? Yes.
So this pricing also.
Yeah, just any query?
The pricing, sir?
Pardon?
No, amount.
Price for this course, right? It's an offer price as it was introduced for a very, so it's just 6K, 6,000, right, for this. So the duration is for like 2 months. We'll be discussing in brief about this Python core advanced, and this models related to the data science in brief.
No, already we are in the Python core advancement, sir. We are
Yeah.
the batch.
So here this total, whatever the course content I'm showing you, right? So here, if you see this many modules, basic Python basics, collections, functional programming, modular programming, object-oriented programming, database connections, handling errors and exceptions, introduction to data science, data processing, for data analysis, pandas, for data visualizations, matplotlib, seaborn, plotly, mongodb, and PyMySQL, right? For all these things, right, the course, so it's a 2 months duration, and this course fee is for 6,000, right, for all this. Yes, yes, right, yes. So like if yes, this related, this modules, right, especially this modules data science related for data processing, data analysis, numpy, pandas, matplotlib in brief, right, seaborn, these models. If you're anyone, if you're already done with Python basics, if you are looking forward for this data science models, you can just go with this course, right? And MongoDB also I'm giving knowledge on this, fine. Yes. See this MLDL, right? Machine learning is for simple predictions, deep learning for complex predictions, right? Deep learning and this. See, generally, okay, there's a lot of understanding people like MLDL, artificial intelligence. So we have got one second. So this entire thing, like we say, like data science, right? Yes, extracting useful insights and patterns. So machine learning, like simple predictions, right? Normal predictions. Deep learning, like complex predictions. So from the existing data, we are just going to perform analysis, and you are going to predict on this ML and DL. But this, if for example, if you are providing 10 patterns, for example, if you are providing some 100 patterns, you are saying, if you want to predict, for example, the incoming pattern, if this incoming one, if is present within this 100 patterns, then okay, this ML and DL can perform your, okay, it will provide much accuracy. If this incoming one is not in this 100 patterns, then your model cannot give accuracy, right? So your model need to learn from this incoming pattern. That is what artificial intelligence means. From this it should learn from itself. Here in MLDL you will be providing, so here if we are providing the patterns, if that incoming pattern available, then okay, it can perform these predictions. But in this AI, right, your model need to learn, if it is not, if I'm providing or not providing, it should learn from the incoming patterns. And we have got artificial learning. In this artificial intelligence, you are just patterns from the incoming patterns, just you will be learning, right? But here in artificial learning, you will be creating the models. You will be creating the models, right? Artificial learning, ML is there, DL is there, AL also there, artificial learning is there, right? So the daily timing will be at 8:30, right? It's the same. Artificial learning means, so for example, if I want to make you understand in a simpler way, right? If you talk like Robo movie, you should have seen that Robo movie, right? If I relate this to this simple predictions it was doing previously, that robo was doing simple predictions, but complex predictions. Later, it was performing by adding, right? It was performing some complex predictions. It was performing complex predictions, but it is not understanding the instance at that point, what it's doing, right? It is unable to think by itself. It is unable to think by itself, right? Slowly, again, by embedding, right, some features, it was able to think, it is able to feel, right? Means artificial learning. From the incoming patterns, it should learn, right? And artificial learning means creating this. So here, not learning, yet creating more robots, right? So here in this machine learning, deep learning, AI, right, it cannot create a new things, but here in artificial learning, one creating the other things, right? So many studies are going on this artificial learning, right? Yes. Fine. So this is what we'll be discussing as part of this. Any more queries, right? The same time.
So
Yes.
already we have a Python batch, no, sir, 7:30 PM.
So if people are already attending that courses, right? And if you want, you can just go for this modules in brief, right? Which one, like into data science, processing, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn, plotly, right? And this mongodb, all this you can. So for that, okay, you can just discuss with this online team, right? For the other things, if you've already done Python and if you're just looking forward for this, you can just talk with online team for the related fees related things, right? Yes. If you want to go only for data science related modules. So it's just given. So it's just given for a offer price, right? It's an offer price only for this batch only, right? For the other next, it is the next batch onwards, the fee is going to be increased. So soft copy of the notes, clearly it will be provided. Videos you will be getting. So you can see in the chart panel now, the online team has forwarded a message. You can see that payment process and procedure, right? And that contact details of this online team. And you are supposed to provide the screenshot once the payment is done, right? Okay, fine. We will continue tomorrow also, right? More discussion on this. Tomorrow also you can attend to see more on this, right? Python for data science, right? Mostly the concentration. So you'll be getting the knowledge. See one thing, you'll be getting the knowledge on total Python and also this in-depth knowledge on this modules of data science, right? Fine. The course objective is for total Python core advanced. Later Python core advanced will be getting the knowledge, and later if you want to go to other environments also you can go, but especially the next we'll be discussing with data science modules in brief. Fine. Yes. So you can attend at the same time with the same link to see more on this. So we'll continue tomorrow, right? I'm stopping here. Yes. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your course content you will be getting to your mail IDs, right? Yes.